So we're descending into Kyandra now. You see the Yucca being below, which we usually have to forge across, but luckily all this new fire trail works they're doing, they have a temporary bridge across it. So yay, because it is right now 4 degrees. Wind chill has to be -1 or 2, I would reckon, for sure, is really blowing. So not having to get across that thing in this sort of temperatures is great. Happy days. And that bridge that you can see, the road bridge you can see in the distance, my food drop is in under there, so hopefully I can situate myself somewhere under there to sort my food drop with some form of shelter away from this wind, which is pretty strong. Alright, catch you guys later. Morning of day 4, I believe. It's actually a bit, for me, it's a bit into day 4. I mean, it's about 9 o'clock now. I've been going since 5 this morning. Got to my food drop around 8, I guess, a bit after 8 maybe. Just coming out of the climb from Kyandra, up that climb coming south, and now I'm walking across this open plateau. I'll show you. Quite windy this morning. It's just windy the whole time. I started off this morning, I had all my wet weather gear on, so I had my rain pants on. I still have my rain pants on, and I had my rain jacket on. Probably the most attested bit of gear I'll ever have, any form, will be a rain jacket. Hang on a sec, let me swap arms because I'm struggling. Arms are tired after lugging up that hill. Right, sorry, you're back. So you just, I mean, I wore it for the winds. And this morning, all last night in the hut was battered by wind and storms. I mean, yesterday I had thought, let's push another 5 down the track, and then the storm set in, and I went, fine, you know what, I'll just pitch in at the hut and forgo the 5 extra Ks. With the wind and the rain that came down last night, I effectively won in the end, because I set out early this morning around 5. It was still blowing, and I was blowing a really heavy mist on the winds. It was so strong. It was 4 degrees on the thermometer, but you know, the wind chill would have been 0 or below. So I was wearing all my wet weather gear just to, you know, just as a windbreak really. It wasn't to do anything else. But you know, there's climbs here and there, enough that it makes you want to overheat, and it's really tough to control your body temperature, because if you start sweating underneath a raincoat, all that sweat turns into, not mist, turns into water droplets, which is sucked up by your clothing, and that ceases to keep you warm. It gets you cold instead. So that was a fight. I have, in fact, after coming out of the exposed valley that Keandra's in, well, it's exposed here, I've actually taken off my rain jacket. I'll keep the pants on because my legs are actually liking keeping warmth in them, so we'll do that. But I'm now just down to my base layer and my mid. I mean, I'm cold, but I'm not freezing cold, and that's where I want to be, I think, at the moment. So we'll see how we go. What a miserable night, and what a miserable day so far. It has been nothing but wind and mist since, I don't know, 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I would say. So it has been a dreary old day. So at the moment we are just doing our best to bop along. So I picked up my food drop. That's 7 days of food. I left a meal in there. I've decided I just can't stomach that after trying it last night. I just went, I mean, it's one that I've liked on previous hikes, but something about this one, I just can't look at it, so I won't name the brand or the flavour because they'll get upset. But I just can't go there, so it's gone in the bag. And what I'll do is I'll compensate it with, I have 1 bag of instant noodles, and I have 2 of those in a cup. Swap arms again, my arms are falling off. Those pasta, cup of soups, you know, whatever they are, you know, they put in the cup, add water, they're nice. So I'll compensate a meal with that. I think I maybe have a day's more food in my pack. So I'm probably carrying 8 days food, in fact. I picked up 7, but I still had a day in there, which, you know, I'm like, do I want to carry it? But I'm starting to foreshadow a day or 2 longer at the end, so I will want that food at that point. So that's what we'll do. Hopefully I can carry it. So I changed out my gas canister, even though it's been 3 days. That was my plan, was to just have a gas canister in each drop, and whether, when empty or not, just swap it for a full one, and when I get home I'll just use the flip fuel to empty them and reload. So I'll have full canisters at home once I reload them all. So that's fine, but that saves me playing the numbers game of, oh, is that enough? One thing though is, it's so windy here, and I decided on my fire maple burner. It's a 3-legged burner, very similar to the, you know, the more known BRZ. In fact, the BRS. The BRS is actually a rip-off of this one, and I require matches for it. Now I brought the Coleman, you know, throw me in a pond, pull me back out, and I'll still start matches. Well, the boxes I got, they're the anti-start matches. Lucky I have a spare box in my first aid kit. I always carry one in there. I pulled those out, and they're the total opposite. You only got to look at them and they want to start. So, and they came out the same pack, that's the thing. It's not like I bought them at separate times. They were in a pack of 6 wrapped together. How can they be so different? But anyway, they are. But that was a bit annoying. I'm thinking just for the extra 40 grams I should have gone and brought my Soto with me. It's got the Petzl on the side. It's more wind resistant, it's got 4 legs on it, it's more stable. I mean, I was gram counting at that point, so White stayed home. I maybe should have brought it with me. So, it's quite a vast plateau up here. We've been walking along it for a while. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, it's quite windy still up here. So today's going to be super long. I'm trying to tell my brain that getting to the drop doesn't count for today. So it only starts from the drop, which then means I have another 22 k's to go today. See how we go. Swapping arms again. I'm talking too long, aren't I? I should just give my arms a break and stop talking to you guys. So just, we only did 21 yesterday. My right ankle is still bothering me, but this morning, if I stop and get rocking, then it hurts me. Right this very second. I mean, it's sore, I can feel the pain, but it's quite subdued compared to what it has been on the 2 previous days. And I'm wondering if I can put that down to the fact that I have my wet weather sock over my merino creeper at the moment. Is the extra heat in there subduing the ankle? Is the ankle liking the warmth? So it's not so bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pain every step, but not going crazy pain, which it has been the last couple of days. So I guess we see, huh? We'll walk it today, we'll leave that pair of socks on, see what happens. Get up tomorrow, go again, see if we get the same outcome. If we do, it's the pair of socks, right? And I'm destined to wear 2 pairs of socks for the rest of the walk. Could be. I saw in the logbook at the hut, Nobo had got to there 16 days. Far out. I mean, there's a guy with 19, and I think, oh, when I was reading that, I thought, geez, that's going well. And there's a guy there with 16. It's like, yo, what? That? I mean, are you carrying anything, buddy? Super fast. Super fast. Wow. I mean, I'm down to 3.5 k's an hour average, I think. That's as much as my ankle will allow me. So that's what we'll do. We'll trudge today out and see how we go. Alright, wishes upon me for some sun today. That'd be mega. Instead of this cold, dreary, windy freaking day we're getting. Alright, catch you guys later. That, everybody, is Tabletop Mountain in front of us. Thankfully we don't have to go up and over that thing, we're just going to go around the side. You can probably tell the mess from this morning is largely cleared away. Don't quote me, because last time I said it was cleared away I got walloped for the next 2 hours, so let's just say, just for this little moment, it's a little bit better. Evening all. I probably tell by blue sky it's actually not evening, this is the morning after, but we're going to do it now. This is the end of day 4. Day 4 was, I mean, I don't want to tell you the number because, you know, it's a bit stupid. Yesterday was a 53k day. The catalyst for the 53k day was I didn't want to do the 2k walk to Happy's hut. Seriously. I ended up at McKay's hut. I was seriously contemplating, was it better just to go to Happy's hut, because McKay's hut, oh, that was horrible. So drafty, so cold. No dry wood, so you couldn't get a fire going. Mice or rats? You tell me which one. That was. They tried to steal my inner soles, which I was trying to dry my shoes out, which everything was soaked. So I was trying to dry everything out without heat. You know, it wasn't going to work, but give it a go. And I heard this bang. And I looked around and I couldn't see anything, so I went back to sleep. And maybe an hour later I heard this other bang. And I went, what is that? So I turned my headlamp on and I looked around. And underneath the table was this weird thing. And when I got up to have a look, it was my inner sole. When I looked down at my shoes, my other inner sole was missing. I thought, you're kidding me. This bastard's half-inched my inner sole. That's about how my hike's going. I'm going to swap to the other arm because the sun's on the other side. Give me a moment. Bear with me, this is messy. Rain's not exactly 100%. There we go. So, luckily, what they were trying to do is get it down between, because the walls are corrugated sheets, right? And there's a timber floor to the corrugated sheets. And what they're trying to do is drag the inner soles down through the corrugation gap. He also hadn't done his numbers, because the inner sole was a lot bigger than the corrugation, but he bloody gave it a try. Well, he gave it a good try because it woke me up. So anyway, I mean, I knew there were mice there. You could smell there were mice there, or rats, whichever. You know the smell. And there was this little bit of line that went across the corner of the hut. So I had hung everything on that piece of rope, except for my shoes and my inner soles. Well, I put the inner soles straight back in the shoes. I went and put the shoes on the doorknob of it's a 2-room hut, of the middle door, and just let them sit there. So I had everything bar myself off the ground, but it was so windy. The wind last night was crazy. It was like a freight train all night, and it came in through the hut. There was a constant breeze blowing on me the whole night. It got down to 3. It's been 3 all morning. It is still 3 right this second. But as you can see, my first sunshine in 2 days. I have my solar out already because I'm just going to steal every single skerrick I can because my packs are getting low. So anyway, yesterday it was a lot of up. Came out of Kyandra, you would have known. I talked to you up there. But after that it was just up. You kept going up and you just kept doing rollers and rollers. We went around Tabletop, which is such a barren looking thing. And then we would keep climbing after that. And then we descended to Happy's hut, and then Happy's hut was on a trail of its own, 2 k's downhill to Happy's hut. What got me was that was going to be uphill today coming out of Happy's hut, and I was dirty on the fact that I'd have to do uphill straight away. That didn't count as trail. Oh, my brain, what is going on? So I decided I was going to push from a 38k day to a 53k day. Go figure. I mean, where's my logic? Holy shit, my logic, there isn't any. I'm gonna swap to the other hand because the sun is playing that game of shifties on us. Also helps me rest. Arm was getting tired anyway. So pole. Yep, perfect. There we go. We're all good now. So, yes, so we decided to tack on an extra 15 to go to a horrible shack that was on top of a hill in a valley that had no trees. It was just, I mean, I didn't see any of that because it was pouring down rain. So all I could see was where my headlamp was shining. So, yeah, I didn't know. I knew it was up higher because I had to walk up to the hut from the trail. But, you know, it wasn't that much. Bloody hell. Nothing was stopping that wind. There was nothing creating a break at all. Oh. So after I left Happy's, there were like two really long, very vast open plains that we walked through. They were a bit boggy in the middle, had creeks running through them. And there's a lot of creek jumping yesterday. And after that we had this endless climb. Now if you're hiking at night in the rain, your world shrinks to the circle of light your headlamp creates. So every time I was going along, it was fine, I just pay attention to the headlamp. But when we got to this climb, and I couldn't tell you how big this climb was even now, to me it was vast, but I don't really know. But hang on, can you guys I'm going to show you something. You guys tell me, who does this? There is so much of this ripped up. I mean, I think there's deer prints in there, but I'm not sure. I mean, would deer do that? I don't know. Let me know if you know what it is. I mean, it's everywhere. It happens all the time. Even out in the middle of the fields you see it ripped up. Anyway, so of course my world is now just, you know, a 5-meter radius arc of light in front of me. So as I look up, I see I'll show you. This is what you see. So as you look up, you see, you're going up and you see that little mound where they've cut to let drainage go off, right? And I can't count how many of those I went up on that walk. It was endless. But it just looked like you'd hop over one and you'd look up and there's just another climb to another one of those. You'd get to that one, look up, another climb to yet another one of those, and it was like, oh dear, oh dear. This is never ending. But it's funny because it was a real mixed bag, because my right foot was giving me so much curry. When I got to the top, up the top of Kayanja, just after talking to you guys, that I could have eaten a whole packet of Nurofen and it would not have helped me at all. And I was in so much pain. Coming down hills just was sheer murder. I stopped and talked to an old guy who was just doing a little local overnighter here, named Greg, vastly full of information on the area. He's also spent a bit of time here, pointed out a few things that I'd miss if I didn't know. Sorry, you're probably looking at the grass and not me there for a little while. See, look, there's more of it here, right? Look at it, it's just, they be crazy. So yeah, so Greg pointed out a few things that I would see on the way, and I did look for them then, and I did see them. I was like, oh yes, yeah, I would have walked right past that bud and I would never have noticed it was there. So that was cool. But he'd called his walk early because there was so much rain the day before, and that day he was rugged up big time. Now I feel that looking in this mud that I'm scampering across here at the moment, they are definitely deer prints for sure. Is that what's ripping all that up? Is that all deer doing that? Don't know. So you probably got a fog in your glass, guys, because it's that sort of day where there's heaps of condensation. So apologies if you've got a fog in your glass and all I am is just a foggy mess. I will take a break and do my day 5 morning ritual in a little while. But anyway, it was a mixed bag. I had to stop. I heavily taped that right foot and it was pain for a while, And then all of a sudden it come good just before the descent down into Happy's, and I hardly noticed it. And I got to that point where, you know, it was like, I felt really good at that point. So I was like, oh, we'll just go. And I didn't mean to go to a hut. I was just going to go to a creek a bit further down and camp. But when the rain set in, because the rain hadn't started when I was at Happy's turn off, I mean, it had been drizzling before, but there was nothing at that time. So I then just set off, and I had good legs. I was really quick across the plains. I was pretty quick everywhere. Even going up the endless climb, I was still going up that pretty well. And it's weird that the foot was just, and the whole body was like, yep, let's do this. So it was a really weird mixed bag day. But we got to the shack, we were freezing cold, our clothes were cold, I was cold, my clothes were wet, I was hungry, I ate all my snacks. It takes 53 k's to eat all your snacks, Matt. And then, ooh, let's see, we'll go across around that branch. And at that point in time, I was so freezing cold that all I could think of was getting inside my quilt with my puffy on to try and get warmth in. So I didn't do anything for the rest of the evening. After that, I called it quits. Went night-night until the mice or rats woke me up. Alright, there's a lot of rambling just then. Let me take a break. Alright, take it easy guys, see ya.